This is the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Titus. The figure is part of the new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 wave of new 1/12 scale, 6-inch scale action figures by Hasbro. And to build Titus, if you're buying him on retail and not on eBay, you will need each and every one of this figures except Star-Lord. And there's one figure here missing. It's Darkhawk. You'll need him also for another piece of Titus. And each of the 6 figures, Darkhawk, Angela, the new Drax, Sam Alexander Nova, Vance Astro, and Yondu, has a piece to build the Titus figure. Darkhawk, I've already passed it on to my good buddy Randy, because I'm not really interested in that figure. So very, very nice. A great looking set of Guardians of the Galaxy figures. So let's get rid of these non-essential figures. And you can already see, based on my diorama on my display, the scale and the scale of the figure. Oh, she scales very nicely with Angela. Very nice. And here is Sam Alexander back. If you read up on the Sam Alexander Kid Nova or Nova comic books, then you'll probably be very familiar with this particular character or villain. Used to be Supernova of the Nova Corps. Served with his dad, and he's out to find his dad's helmet on Earth. And that's when they fight. He fell prey to the Chitauri. That's how he lost his right eye and right limb. He's been replaced by a cybernetic eye and a cybernetic limb, which is, man, this kind of reminds me of Random from the old X Factor comic books by Peter David. Very nice looking gun, arm gun, and eventually, not that. He's quite a short-lived character. Eventually, he dies with the whole Chitauri armada when they fight over the ultimate nullifier. Spoiler alert, sorry. So yeah, look at, he scales nicely with the young Sam Alexander. And just try and stand him up. Yeah, if you're a big fan of the comic book and you love the characters, then you're going to want this Titus figure. Personally, I'm not that interested with Titus. You know, I think it's a well-made figure, well-sculpted figure, and that this is as good as it gets when rendering a comic book character into the 1/12 scale. And just to give you a bit more size comparison, here is with other BAF or Build-A-Figure action figures. Here he is with Thanos, the Mad Titan. So he's a little bit bigger, a bit taller. He stands just under 8 inches tall. 7 2/3 or 7 3/4 inches tall. And here he is with another Build-A-Figure action figure, the Juggernaut. So he's right in between that. So he's not small, he's not big, he's just right. Excuse me. All right, moving on to the Sculpt. I think it's great. Like I said, it's a great iteration of the comic book figure. They got it down to the detail of the head sculpt. I need to just adjust it. Okay. And I thought it was pretty cool, that whole white tiger head. Very nice. The jaws are made of soft PVC material, so you can move it up and down, but there's no hinge to it. The detail on the arm, kind of Colossus type of paint apps going on there. Light, please. And it's got that gold paint apps. A little bit inconsistent, but it's very similar to what they did with Angela. It's a little bit more bright yellow than the orangey type of gold that they used for Angela. But I'm liking it. I like it. Yeah, it looks so nice on him. The blue plastic is great. There's no wash on it, but it's fine. So all in all, it's a great sculpt. The paint apps are fantastic. It's as good as it gets, folks. Articulation for the figure. It's got a ball jointed neck that's on a hinge. It allows you to move the neck up and down a little bit, but I wish they would allow it to look a little bit further up. It's got the ratcheting ab crunch, ratcheting waist swivel, a little bit of ratchet. Ball hinge shoulders, a little bit hindered by the sculpt. Bicep swivel, just a single hinge ratcheting elbow. Ball hinge wrists that only allow you to move the fist out. I would have wanted a little bit more inward curl for the fist, but because of the sculpt, it's not going to happen. For the right arm, it has the same articulation as this one, but no wrist, obviously. Waist swivel, ball jointed hip, thigh swivel, double jointed knees that are pretty strong, not as weak as I thought it would be. I thought there was going to be a calf swivel. There's definitely an indentation or a cut for it, but alas, there is no calf swivel. That would have been really nice for posing this guy, because he's big and hefty, and he's got the ball hinge ankles with the rocker tilt. So very, very nice. I you know, as a figure, without any bias on this figure deserves at least a 9 out of 10. But because I'm not really that interested in him, and there were some, you know, to me, it's a little bit mediocre for me. It's not something I'd hunt for. Maybe an 8 out of 10. But to be fair, he should get 9 or an 8.5 out of 10 for me. It's nothing like, oh my god, I gotta get this figure. It doesn't make me gush over this figure that bad, just simply because I'm not a big fan of the character. But as it is, as a standalone figure, if you had no idea who the character was, he's great. He's massive, a little bit bigger than the usual BAFs. Not as big as the Juggernaut, but he has some weight to him. He has some heft to it. I love it. But chances are, since I don't like it 100%, I might be passing this on to another buddy of mine. So there you go, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Marvel Legends in the 1/12 scale and the 6-inch scale. Build-A-Figure Titus from the new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 wave of Marvel Legends action figures. Thanks for watching.